Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo. Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment inquiry.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
The government, states, they start putting these RICO acts on Diddy, all of these guys, and try to put it on these ongoing criminal organizations. I ain't never seen the government put a RICO act on the KKK.
Switch happened. Come on, man. You got to acknowledge this. This is the problem that I have with elders like you, because you fail to acknowledge that this stuff has happened.
If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow.
I think when it comes to the woman, if a man takes charge and he shows that he's logical,
same people. That's number two. That's all theater. This is WWF.
Hey, you gotta stop this shit, man. Hey. Stop this shit, man. Hey. Stop this shit, man.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Described him as one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
Welcome to the Man Cave. Welcome to the Man Cave. I'm Gray Mars.
I'm 85 Slim.
I'm Enzo.
I'm Doc.
I'm Heaven.
Ken Billions, what's happening?
So that video was Rajai Jackson. He's the son of Rampage Jackson. I'm not Doc. I see you. I really don't know who they are like that. But for the people who don't know who they are, I'm gonna play this clip just so this guy can explain like what happened, because this is going viral right now.
Okay, so Raja Jackson is a 25-year-old Twitch streamer and the son of MMA fighter Rampage Jackson. He kind of follows in his footsteps of his dad. He kind of makes like MMA related health kind of content on Kick. He's vegan like me, so shout out to him for that. His dad was very successful in the UFC, and he is building this brand kind of with his father, who's in his streams and videos, for being a fighter, basically. Last night, he attended an event for a pro wrestling kind of thing. It's not WWE, it's one of like the more smaller indie operations, but he went there because it's fighting related to go shoot some content, stream, whatever. While he was on stream, a wrestler named Psycho Stu did a prank on him, essentially. Like, he crushed a can on his head. The cameras were on. He was thinking that it was some kind of promo for the actual event, and he kind of embarrassed him. He embarrassed Raja. Almost immediately after it happened, Psycho Stu came.
I'm gonna show the video, Doc. It seems like you know who they are. You want to elaborate on it?
Yeah, I think that dude mistaken. He was there because he had a friend who wrestles in that league and was invited. He said on the screen that was the only reason he went. Rampage is like a pretty well-known UFC champion for fighting and stuff. Rampage is he's known for being unhinged though. Like, he'll say anything, do almost anything. And I think he don't add context to it. Like, his son had just been in a fight where he was kicked in the head, so he was recovering from a concussion. So when this dude slams the can on his head, he's ready to fight outside. And they break it up. His friend and a couple of other dudes step in and break it up. And they were like, well, we're gonna let you interrupt his match. And he was like, he was fuming. He was like, yo, when I interrupt the match, I'm finna punch him in his face. You know what I'm saying? So he pick him up, he slammed the shit out of him, and he punched him a couple times. But you know what I'm saying? He wasn't there to be playing. I think the dude thought he was part of it. And he wasn't. He told him several times, "You're not part of it." He picked the can up and he crushed the can on his head. Just bad timing. So
I'm gonna show the video so that everybody know what you're talking about.
You don't know me? Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, that's hey, I think that's a little.
Oh, you don't sell it? What's that? You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a fucking worker, bro. No, we're good. I know you will. We're good.
I will fuck him up, bro. I don't play that shit.
Sorry about that.
So that's when he gets the revenge. Enzo, are you a UFC fan?
A little bit.
So do you feel like he was fair in getting the revenge after you see what he did to him?
I mean, yeah, he didn't take that the right way whatsoever. I mean, in the first clip watching him, he looked like he was trying to kill the guy. He probably went a little too far. Dude was knocked out at that point. He was still swinging on him. Like that's just bad blood between them.
For sure. Slim, what about you?
Oh man, I don't follow UFC, so I don't want to comment on this.
Okay. Ken?
What I did see is so he was allowed to get that slam off, but there's another recording of him saying, I don't care. Like Doc said, I don't care. I'm gonna hit him for real. So that slam, because they made up and it was like everything's cool. So that slam was part of the interrupted part. Those punches, that wasn't part of that. And then there's another video of him walking outside expressing that he's tired of people playing with him, right?
I'm gonna play it.
Okay, so when I seen this, I was wondering, like, damn, I wonder if he want to get that shit off on his dad, right? Because he said, I'm tired of people playing with me. I'm tired, like how he go. Obviously, he got some L somewhere where he can't get that shit off.
Right, I'm gonna play exactly what you was talking about.
Playing with me, bro. Real shit. One of them a bitch and fucking bit me. I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me and shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no fucking bitch, bro. At the end of the day, I'm gonna stand up for my fucking self because I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me, bro. Real shit.
Come on, man. We leaving, man. We're walking away, bro. Let's not take it serious. Let's go. Come on, Roger. Let's go. Let's go, Roger. Let's go. Roger, let's go. Roger, I'm telling you, let's go. You listen to me. Listen to me, Roger. You need to listen to me right now, Roger. Let's go.
I don't give a fuck. You guys trying to jump me and shit?
Let's go.
You ain't gonna do shit to me, bro.
Let's go,
You can't do shit to me. You can't fuck with me, bro.
Let's go.
You can't fuck with me.
So, Kevin, what you think after saying that?
So when did that happen? In the
That was
mix?
after-
Like, what's the timeline?
That's
After he
after
already
he
beat his ass?
Yeah.
Why were they still following him out? Like, you already got, you watched him get rocked.
I feel you.
That's just stupid to me.
Well,
but
for sure. Well, since you got skipped, I got a special video for you. I'm sure you go love it from Snoop. He going viral for saying he tired of LGBTQ stuff.
My grandson to see what was the movie with Buzz Lightyear?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
The new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's
yeah,
called
with
Lightyear.
Kiki Palmer is in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, it's fuck me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
Slim, what you think?
I love it, man. I love it. I mean, it's always good to see people wake up. If your boy not K Dot, K Dot, if he was here, he would probably come up with some philosophical way to overlook it and say you can be what you want to be. Yo, listen, when it start hitting the kids and it start hitting the home, that's when them light bulbs come on. Because at the end of the day, Shorty's right. He's confused. He don't know what the hell's going on. Snoop don't know how to explain nothing like that. That's Snoop. He ain't trying to explain nothing like that. So the reality is, that's a good thing, man. I like it. I like the fact that it's going viral too.
For sure. Ken, what you think?
I wonder how he feels about watching BMF and watching dope dealing shit, right? Snoop pulled up to the VMAs with 2 black women on a leash, right? So there was people's children watching that. I don't know if he ever did a breakdown of what he was thinking in that moment, but I was a shorty when I seen that, right? So this is the thing. It's funny what we pick and choose on, you know what I'm saying? So if it's dope dealing shit, I guarantee he not about to be like, damn, man, you can kind of present black men in a different image. It's funny when we go into this gay shit. When it's gay shit, it's I can't believe it. But when it's shoot 'em up, bang, bang, when it's clear stereotypes over and over, Pookie, 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 cool, right? And this is the same individual. You got to double back on this shit. He pulled up to the VMAs with 2 black women on a leash. We was all children when I seen that. So now it's a problem because you got shorties. But how did you explain those 2 black women on a leash? What do you say for that?
Makes sense. Heaven?
I'm gonna have to agree with Ken on this one. You can't, I mean, no. You can't do both. Yeah, I can understand as a father, it's hard to explain, but if he can sit out here and start making kids songs and stuff that, you know, I didn't know if y'all knew that, but Snoop has music out for kids now. Feel good, motivational music for kids, which is fantastic. I love it. But you can't do both.
For sure.
You can't.
So I mean, I'm gonna agree with 85 on that. Like when it comes down to the VMAs and everything like that, the VMAs is not for kids. We talking about Buzz Lightyear. If a parent wants to teach their children that, do it in the own privacy of your own home. Don't subject the rest of us who actually believe a man and a woman can have a child, not a woman and a woman, not a man and a man, not a man who thinks he's a woman with the man or woman who thinks he's a man. We live in the reality of two genders at the end of the day. Let's just stick with that, and that's how babies are made. I'm pretty sure we all learned that in high school. Keep it that way.
Shit, Snoop could have walked him 10 bitches in there on a leash. At least that's something I could explain to my children of how this isn't something you should do. How do I explain something that's biologically impossible to them?
Just like you just did.
I can't
You can
explain
say,
something that's
look,
biologically
I can
impossible
see
to
that
them.
you can say it's
So
a cartoon.
why we
make
throwing
things
it out
up in
there?
cartoons.
We'll make them go bankrupt. We'll not watch that shit again. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my thing. Like, why push that into kids' narrative? If Snoop threw that into a kid's movie or something like that, I would think that would be inappropriate. Because the VMAs, I don't think this content was exclusively made for kids. The target audience of a Lightyear movie is children. So I think target audience has changed. But I also think, Snoop got to be a little more responsible. But even if he walked 10 bitches in there, something we can explain versus something that's impossible.
What's the bear? When we don't want to take accountability for something, we'll be like, but that show is not for children. That's on regular television. What was the barrier for entry for latchkey kids and your mama and your daddy is at work? We all seen the same shit. Millions of people was watching the same shit. Unsupervised children, right? So we pat again. It only goes to the gay shit. That's the only time we're like, oh my God, man. And we get our morality goes real straight for that. But Call of Duty, every single thing else, we're really fucking flexible on it. Very
you think
flexible.
The target audience is the same? You think the target audience is the same?
Yeah, let me tell you why. Yes, because because the barrier for entry for you to get to it, there's nothing there. You can actually take the controller and do this. So if you have access to it, then everybody's the target audience. There's no paywall, there's no restrictions, and there's no password for you to stop it. I just grabbed the remote and was like this. I'm the target audience.
And we could go back and forth.
There's a barrier entry. What time is the VMAs? Come on, I'm the barrier entry for my children. I'm the person who's sitting there stopping what you can and what you can't watch. So their parents is the barrier entry. When the parents is going to be designed as the barrier entry. When I take my kids to see Lightyear, I don't know what's going to be in the midst of this. I paid to come and see this. I'm the barrier entry. I don't think if I know Snoop walking 2 bitches on the VMAs, I ain't gonna let my kids watch it.
So as a marketer, I'm gonna go with the percentages. The percentages of children that's gonna be up at 9 o'clock in these regions is this, because people here do crack. So the percentages of the people that's about to see this is 70%. We're going to go with the 70. Doc, you might be the 30%. That's the barrier for entry to block your children out. But as a marketer, I'm going to play the numbers. The numbers say that the majority of these kids right here, their parents are on drugs, working. It's a dysfunctional environment. And these children are going to hear these songs and see these images. From a propaganda, Edward Barnett, and marketing standpoint, yes.
This is what we've been trying to say for years, bro. Like, at the end of the day, when you look at everything that we're talking about, we're basically arguing about the same monster, because we're talking about the industry. Maybe he was following protocol back then. Maybe he was following that agenda back then to target kids. Even when you deal with Disney, that's all the same monster trying to target the kids. In order to do this agenda, in order to do what they've done, they have to start with a younger audience. That's the only way to gravitate and get them indoctrinated. So everything you guys are saying is 100% facts. The problem is we talk about one monster that created this shit.
Well, a lot of y'all basically talked about having decorum, and basically it should be a certain way you act when you have a certain profession. So I want y'all to tell me if this sheriff from where I live at Florida behavior was appropriate.
I got their drip. I got their body. We got their guns. We got their dope. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Last week we did a press conference as a result of a grand jury indictment for first-degree murder because this team, these guys at the top, sold the drugs that killed a 65-year-old lady. I told you last week that we would be back and talk now about this wire intercept investigation that we all worked on together.
Well, he showed more with the bracelet that said, I got the drip. Slim, I hear you laughing. You're a Florida resident. You probably know about him. You closer to him actually than me. So what you think about him?
Yo, that's my dog, man. He is so funny. But yo, I mean, at the end of the day, he's trying to gravitate to the audience that's basically aware of what's going on. And this is what we do. I mean, he put the chain on because he said he sold the drugs to that community. That's how he buying this drip. So I'm gonna put on this drip because he locked up or something like that. But it was funny as hell. But I salute that old man. I like the way he delivers the information. I like the way he be clowning. He also has a message every time he does something when they go out in the field. So he sends a message to the young individuals that's out there even thinking about crime. And that's why I like him, man, because he basically the one who did the F around and find out. He kind of made it go viral. You know what I mean?
Enzo, what you think about him?
I love it. I watch all these videos all the time. How they do like a post-arrest interview with everybody I think it's hilarious. It's literally showing like, hey, like 85 just said, FAFO, this is what's gonna happen to you. You won't be put on social media to be a clown. This is pretty much saying, hey, don't be like this dumbass over here, or you will end up like this. One of my favorite ones was when they had somebody that attacked a police officer or whatever, and the interviewer, the person interviewing him was like, so why did they shoot him 69 times? And he goes, well, we run out of bullets.
Yeah, I seen that before. I'm gonna play this just in case people don't really know like who he is of some of his like most viral moments.
What's happening in the community? This guy may be like the dumbest person on the face of the earth. I mean, I'm just guessing. I'm sober as most judges right now. This smells like someone's armpit.
You notice Coda is not looking at her cell phone. She's not looking at her driver's license. She's not being reckless. She's just being cool.
Well, grits for brains. Anybody who murders somebody has a hitch in their giddy up. It's kind of like tasting wine. Be careful. Did you hear what I said? I didn't stutter. And you go, well, he might have had a mental health issue. Well, of course he did. People don't murder people unless they're nutso. Because you've got some morons driving this old POS van, and they can't see this big crash in the middle of the road with cars all twisted around. And cool warms up real quick in the morning. When the beer's warm, it's no more fun. If I got legs in my pants today, he's out committing crime. Nobody should lie to their doctor, their lawyer, or a law enforcement officer, but surprise, they lie to all three. Well, what do you think, honey? Well, we're not in New York anymore. Give me a kiss goodbye, because we're not going to get to stay in the same jail cell in Polk County.
Evan, do you think his behavior is appropriate for a sheriff?
I think he's getting the message across to a younger audience that he needs to capture their attention. What do? Scroll on their phones all the time, right? So they need something entertaining. And it also, I think, humanizes police officers or sheriffs, which I think we need a little bit more of. Anyways, I'm going to move on. I'm not going to digress into that. But I think it's about building that community trust back with our law enforcement officers, because so many law enforcement officers has broken it. And it's kind of like that guy that used to or that put his daughter was in trouble for something, grounded her, and he put a big sign and made her stand outside of Walmart. Like, I have to stand here for however long. Did you guys see that? It was a long time ago.
So, Doc, basically, you know, a lot of crimes are solved on social media. They don't even have to look anymore. They can just go on social media. But is it appropriate for officers to be posting on social media?
I think it's appropriate, but I think he out of bounds. He's wearing evidence. If he took this from them, that means he's considered this evidence of a crime to a case. Why would you be wearing evidence in a press conference? You ain't sniffing the cocaine, is you? And for him to want to be hard on crime, he has been historically soft and lenient on police brutality, officer misconduct. He's one of the softest because he loves those guys he employs so much. I have no problem with somebody who wants to be hard on crime. Be hard on crime for everybody, though. Don't be hard on crime when it's the people that you want to incarcerate. Be hard on crime when these officers is in the community beating up the citizens, shooting and arresting people, overstepping their reach. Be hard on crime all the time. That was all I would say. And it's not appropriate for anybody to go into a press conference wearing evidence for a criminal case.
Absolutely. Ken, watching those videos, what do you think of him as a sheriff?
Well, I mean, based on the stuff that Doctor said, I think it's actually smart what he's doing because this is a way to shape public opinion, right? The public likes to be entertained. And it's about if they like you. If they like you, then you could have your hand in their pocket stealing. You know what I'm saying? You could do whatever. So if this is on the books, the public has a real short memory if you make them laugh, if you make them feel something, right? So if this is what's been going on, a way to clean up the department is to get the people to feel a certain type of way and reshape how we look at police. So he's pulling up in the drip and all that. Number one, the urban market is going to, you know what I'm saying, have a certain kind of feeling for those, right? For that. So if this is on the books, I think it's smart because at the end of the day, it is about public opinion. And the way that you shape public opinion now is not through education. It's through entertainment, songs, and dance.
Okay, for sure. So a lot of talk has been about, you know, if Trump's going to send more troops to more places. He actually backed down today saying he doesn't know, but he will do it without the government's permission. The crime goes up. But here's him talking about it.
Yes, you have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent, and we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this, and it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one, but they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think
Heaven, do we need more National Guard troops across other states?
We should not have National Guard troops used against our citizens, period. But I also want to know who those two women are that he's talking about. I need to see the evidence on that one because I don't know. That don't sound that believable. That they're begging him to come there.
Shit, they interviewed one of them.
I didn't see that. Send it to me, please. No, I'm legitimate. Like, please. I want to see it. That they were like, please, please, please come to Chicago.
I mean, but she's a black conservative woman who I could see having that stance. Remember, y'all interviewed her a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, you talking about what's her name? I can't think of her name. I know it's
P. Ray. Yeah, P. Ray was conservative. So she was a black woman running for political office in the Chicago area. She was very conservative. She was a little thrown off to me, but when he said that black women might be begging him to come to Chicago, she probably leading the march.
Well, as a soldier, as a veteran, I can't. It turns my stomach to see troops used against our people, regardless of what it's for. That's what we have police departments for. If your police department can't handle the job with the budget that you gave them, come on.
Well, before MAGA respond, I'm gonna play what Bill Maher thinks that why Trump is doing this.
If I was the first one to use the phrase slow-moving coup, I know I was using it before he was. Thank you. I know I was using it before he was president the first time. So maybe somebody got to it first. I don't know. And people were laughing at it. I mean, whenever I said he was never going to concede power, they would say, "Oh, you smoke too much pot." Well, it turned out I smoked just the right amount of pot. So now, what's going on in Washington, D.C.? I'll ask you this first, because he does this magic trick. You know, he's passing out pizza, and it's all about big balls, and we're all laughing at what's going on in D.C. Yeah, he's passing out pizza to the troops. If there was a slow-moving coup, let me just describe some of the steps, and you tell me if I'm being paranoid. First, create a masked police force. Get people used to looking at that. Normalize snatching people off the street. Get them used to that. Normalize seeing the National Guard and the military on the street. Then start talking about crime in the capital, which is basically, has always been a fairly crime-ridden city. This is our nation's capital where elections are decided. And then because the crime is so bad, have other states start sending their troops, not just the National Guard there in D.C., but now at least 6 other states are sending their troops, which then Trump can then federalize. So you're having many states' troops on the ground there, and now they're under federal control. So you have in the Capitol a sort of permanent police presence. So when an election dispute might come up, just hypothetically, I mean, I don't want to be a big pessimist, and I'm going to pretend for the rest of the duration that the Democrats do have a chance of winning, and they might win the next election. I just don't think they're ever going to take power, because this is what's going to happen. Because I think this coup is going to go off a lot smoother than the last one.
Enzo, is it a coup?
Fear mongering, fear mongering, fear mongering, fear mongering, fear mongering. That's all I'm going to keep saying. Like, I don't understand it from the Democratic side. Really don't. Still trying to figure it out. Why are we going to sit here and just fear monger and fear monger, fear monger, like we have for the last 10 years about Trump? You guys tried it through his whole first term. Didn't work. Hanging now. Working. Not a coup in any capacity. What Donald Trump is doing is cleaning up the street, and we saw that. And the citizens of DC are happy about it, and him and putting National Guard into the streets of these other cities. What nobody else wants to talk about, that it's for immigration as well, to help out local ICE units. This is not a masked group of people just snatching people up off the streets that are unmasked and don't identify themselves. We've all seen the videos. DHS, ICE on their vest. You could see their badges on their belts. You can see the vehicles that they're pulling up in, that yes, they're going to have an unmarked van to put them in, and then marked vehicles. Like I'm sorry, the media just portrays it in one light and says, masked men. But you can clearly see that they're federal agents. National Guard with troops helping out the federal agencies. What's so wrong about that? I don't see anything wrong in any capacity. It's not illegal what they're doing.
It is. It actually is.
How's it illegal?
Militarily, it is. It is illegal.
But constitutionally, is it illegal? Is it illegal? No, it's not.
Yeah, yes, it is, because National Guard is the state's militia. He has his own
talk about Chicago, what the mayor in Chicago said they were going to do. If the National Guard shows up there, the mayor directed the people to riot against the National Guard. Like, are we serious right now? No, they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't.
Because the National Guard is each state's personal.
So if the National Guard shows up in Chicago, it's completely okay.
What he's doing is usurping the power of the governors in that state, because the
Because the governors
National
aren't
Guard
doing
is
their job. They're not doing their job. The mayor in that city is not
the
doing his job.
micromanaging president with tiny hands.
Who
Well,
cares if he has
Come
tiny hands? He's cleaning up the streets. Like, I'm sorry, if the National Guard shows up and the rioters attack federal officers, then none of anybody on the left has no authority to say anything about January 6th. Therefore, you still don't with Black Lives Matter with attacking
He
police officers,
pardoned all
but that'll
those
be the nail in the
people either
coffin.
way. So for being pro-police, he's
Like,
pardoned all the people, but that's okay.
I mean, listen, we could talk about that all day long.
Did you get the list?
I got the proof to say it.
let's see what the guys with the drip in the city had to say before the rest of the guys respond.
Yeah, FBI, DEA, ICE, it's all that outside in Washington, D.C. I don't even got to look over my shoulder no more. I'm walking around with this shit. I ain't hiding none of this shit. I'm walking blocks with this motherfucker. Listen, jump out on me if you want. I'm gonna scream. They're gonna be here in 33 seconds. As soon as you jump out, get that shit up. Ah! Help! They gonna help the shit out of me. Y'all niggas jump out of here I want. Good God almighty, boy. I got some motherfucking help. Some backup. For real, you jump out, I'm gonna blow your ass. Look, they right here. Look, they outside though. Oh, God almighty. I could just scream, they gonna help me.
Slim, you need them Trump to send the boys so you can yell "Help me" in the city.
You know, I live in Florida,
So you
man.
rock all you do.
We ain't too wild out here, but you know, the reality is, Heather, man, they don't respect the police right now. They, you know, you could try to do it, you could put them out in the streets. It is what it is. And to the Bill Maher scenario, he didn't have that energy when they were trying to normalize PDFs, when they were trying to normalize men and women's sports, when they were trying to make shit like that normal. That was all good. So miss me with that, because he's a flip-flopper. One way he this way, the next day he wake up and now he on the fear-mongering shit like Enzo said. But yeah, man, bring them all on the streets, bro. Like at the end of the day, to see people happy to go outside, to go shopping, to see people walking in the streets, and that was a black man, by the way, so obviously they're not after him. But just to see people, you know, just being able to do that, at the end of the day, I'm all for it, because the reality is the way the crime has been escalating, like, you know, with the gangs and all this stuff, like even back when we was coming up, man, you know, women and children were off limits. These kids today, they don't care. They just spraying. Whoever's in the way, they spraying. So my point is, you can't keep living like this and expect the government to continue to let you live like this. It don't matter who's in office. It matters who's going to do the right thing at the right time. And I think this is where we are. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired. So at the end of the day, if these young fools want to act silly, now it's time to play ball. Now it's time to see who really gangster. That's how I'm looking at it.
You raise your hand, Doc? Oh, Ken, what you think?
I think because this is something that's easy to do in the community now, because there's no real class consciousness. So it's very easy to do. And there's nothing in the community for the most part that protects elders and children. So the people there, that everybody in the hood ain't tough. Everybody in the hood don't got hands. People in the hood is a lot of working class people. People work for the city, you know what I'm saying? People work for the church, right? They just live there, but everybody not a shooter. But since the biggest, fastest, and strongest people in there, in the hood, don't have a system that makes the lives of the people that pay mortgage here better, they're going to align with the state, right? Because it's about who's feeding them. You sell dope, you jack, you scam, but you don't help that lady's rent right there, right? All right. So they're going to go align with the people that's feeding you. That's one. Two, the reason why I can't get behind someone like Bill Maher saying this is because I have yet to see, in all fairness, Trump has silenced and snatched up very visible, powerful voices that critique him. When those people start disappearing, then some of the things that people are saying about him, I'll be like, true, because Bill Maher did disappear. Nothing is happening to the people that have a microphone in their hand saying shit to him. In other countries, journalists, right? Unless you've been like with some like classified shit, but in other countries, in someone like Bill Maher, his head would be off. His head is not off. He can openly critique the president. Nothing happens to him.
For sure. Doc, did you have something to add on this?
I just got a couple of different questions. Are he giving these soldiers the same qualified immunity that he would give to law enforcement officers in the event that something does happen? You know what I mean? Like, some of these guys are young guys. They haven't been through the same ROE and training that police officers have been in to go out and protect these communities. So, I wonder if you putting some of these younger dudes, because we were young soldiers, and stuff happens. Are they going to have the same qualified immunity? Are they going to have the same opportunities when we're putting them in these communities? Because we just don't know what can happen, but a young kid making mistakes. And I think at some point, even if he does this, at some point he has to come back down and meet with the police departments in whatever city, whether it's DC, Chicago, because he's not going to be the president forever. So at some point, he's going to have to prepare these people to serve and protect their own communities. That's what we pay them for. And if it's a job they can't do, then we need to figure out an alternative for that as well, because these people are paid a salary from the taxpaying citizens. So we have to figure out how to navigate that as well.
Yeah, I know they just recently let them start carrying weapons. So I don't know what all they get, but just recently they let them carry weapons. But we'll get to the main topic.
Let's add that they're not even putting them, because when you're on not active orders, when you put on active orders, it has to be a certain amount of days for you to get paid X amount more. He did it right under the amount. He put their orders under the amount so that these soldiers won't get paid for a full deployment.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Or the full amount.
I know what you're talking
about.
Yeah. So that's another thing that I'm just like, really?
At least let them make a check. Yeah, you're right. At least.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't know is that these people have like regular jobs, and then they go do this 1 weekend a month, and they do it 2 weeks a year. So these are really regular people. Even though they're in the military, they're not doing this every single day like an active soldier is.
And imagine if they're put in an area that they already know street beef, and now they're walking around and they got their weapons and they can spray whenever they want to. What's the little court martial? Nothing. Please.
Well, we'll get to the main topic, and we will let the man of the hour speak for himself.
Just a short time ago, since we have been on the air, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was taken into ICE custody. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed he is being processed for deportation. His attorneys now threatening new legal action if that happens, and they say he could be sent to Uganda unless he accepts a plea deal today that what it said see him deported to Costa Rica. So there's a lot going on here, all these new developments. Let's get right to CNN's Priscilla Alvarez in Baltimore with the very latest. What are you learning now, Priscilla?
Well, John, there have been multiple developments within the span of 2 hours. It wasn't that long ago that Kilmar Abrego Garcia was standing right behind me along with his wife as he was thanking organizers and his family before going into that federal building behind me to check in with Immigration and Customs Enforcement. But then only 45 minutes later is when we learned from his attorney that he was taken into ICE custody shortly after entering the building. And here's what his attorney had to say.
If they want to deport him to any other country, they need to go through that exact same process. Unless and until they have gone through that process, they do not have the right to put him on an airplane. And that's what we're going to be asking the district court to ensure, that he is not put on any flight to any country whatsoever, whether it's Uganda, South Sudan, what have you, unless and until he has had a full and fair trial.
Now, the big question here, John, is where he is going to be deported. That is exactly what his attorney was talking about there. Previously, the administration had offered a plea deal that if he were to plead to 2 federal charges and carry out his criminal sentence here in the United States, that he'd be deported to Costa Rica. But if not, the Trump administration would deport him to Uganda, a country with which he has no ties to. That has been something that the administration has leaned on often, the removals to third countries. But the attorney said that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is okay with being deported to Costa Rica. The question is, will the administration do it if the plea deal is not accepted, which we know from his other attorneys that it has not been accepted. So there is still a process yet to unfold here. And it is in part because of a federal judge earlier this summer that said that Abrego Garcia and his attorneys had to be notified at least 72 hours prior to removal where he'd be removed so that his attorneys can have the opportunity to contest that removal. And that is the process that we'll be looking out for here. His attorney also saying that filed a new lawsuit contesting again his deportation and his detainment because his attorney stands by the fact that there is no reason for which he should be detained right now. He was already under monitoring. So the attorney says there's no basis for his detention, which is yet another question that they did not get an answer to today from ICE where he will be detained. It is very common that when ICE takes custody of people, they can detain them in their different centers across the country. So at this hour, there are still a couple questions here. Where will he be deported? And also, where will he be detained until that deportation? This, again, has been a dramatic legal saga that has gone for months now, starting with his deportation, his wrongful one to El Salvador earlier this year. Now, again, as I had mentioned, Abrego Garcia did speak to the crowd earlier this morning where he thanked his family, and this is what he had to say.
Me reuní con mi familia.
Brothers and sisters, my name is Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and I want you to remember this. Remember that I am free, and I was able to be reunited with my family.
Now, again, his fate and his future is still uncertain at this hour, but the fact that we do know is that he is in custody in the building behind me here in Baltimore. John?
Yeah, that was just after 7 o'clock in the
Enzo, I see people asking like who he is. Can you explain to the audience like the whole drama, everything surrounding him?
Yep. So Kilmar Abrego Garcia is an illegal immigrant that crossed into the United States in between 2011 or 2012. Nobody knows, under the Obama administration. He was arrested in 2019 in a company with multiple gang members of MS-13, was made out to be a gang member by a confidential informant. This is all stated in the at the county where it was in Maryland, where he was arrested. As well as we have his I-213 form. For everyone who doesn't know, an I-213 form is the Department of Homeland Security deportable/inadmissible alien deportation order, which was signed off by a judge, which he went in front of his appeal and was granted a stay of withholding, so he could not be deported to El Salvador under persecution from a rival gang, being Barrio 18, until April of. He was deported to El Salvador before April of 2020. That's where this whole debacle is coming from. We're fighting for an illegal immigrant who is a wife beater, an illegal migrant, part of a gang, and human traffic, which he's been on an investigation for since 2022, and that trial's go on, actually. So this is who we're fighting for and talking about.
Heaven, I saw you in the comments. You were saying that it's illegal. You want to explain why?
There is a lot of stuff that has came out after he was accidentally, as the administration said, deported. He had a court protection order. He left El Salvador as a child, as a teenager, because he would not join the gangs, and he came to America and sought protection from these gangs.
His mother even said that he was a part of MS-13, and that's why his mother stated that. She's the one who made him go to the United States under persecution from Barrio 18.
So
that's the real story.
again,
I've
leaving.
extensively looked into
So
this
he
guy.
left. He said, no, I can't do this, and left. And he was under
No, because he
protection
was a
orders
part of a
from a
gang.
judge here in America. He was under, we have, I mean,
Yeah.
lots of gangs.
He
in
couldn't
America.
be deported to El Salvador. He could have been deported to any other country around the world except for El Salvador. And that
But
deportation
he
order
was, the
still
whole
stands to this
point
day.
was that he was under a court order of protection
Until April of
that had him
2025.
here. Exactly. Until he was deported.
Slim,
By accident. From the administration's words, was on accident. And then they turned around and doubled down. And now all of a sudden he's a trafficker and all of this, which,
It's been under investigation since 22. The court
and I
records are
don't
there.
think his wife, if she was being beaten, would have been coming out pregnant and going and having press conferences crying.
Hold on. There's multiple court documents to back it up. She's the one who filed the restraining order, and as well as her ex-husband filed a restraining order against Kilmar that he did not want his children around Kilmar because he knew he was a gang member. And this is before the restraining order that she got against him for beating on her.
well, she was in the video with him, and what they said about the trafficking is that it was 9 people in the car, but he got let off with a warning. But they did try to say that he was a gang member. I don't know why they tried to like specifically put that on him, but she did get a restraining order, like Enzo was saying. So that's what people keep saying about him. Slim, what you think? Should he have been deported? And you've been to Africa. And one of the other things they were saying that he's been shipped to a country that he doesn't know the language, but the actual language, main language of Uganda is English. But he's from El Salvador. Do you think that's fair?
Yep. I think it's all fair because at the end of the day, like this shit is all propaganda to me, man. Even that CNN clip, right? We watched the CNN clip. You had the reporter tell you everything. Bro said like 2 words. And the girl that was translating said a whole bunch of other stuff. It ain't sound like he said all that. Just saying. That kind of threw me off. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'm looking at is how popular he is. And I'm looking at it like, where's the GoFundMe? Where's the donation link? I'm thinking there's something like that. Whatever country he go to, he gonna spend USD money. And they're going to go to the next topic and try to figure out something else to talk bad about Trump. This is like every 3 months, we get something else to talk about bad about Donald Trump. This is all propaganda. So because the deportation is going on, they're going to escalate this situation, make it seem like it's bigger than what it is. The reality is the guy is an illegal immigrant. He doesn't have the paperwork situated and he needs to go. Period. There's plenty of other people that's dealing with the same thing he is. Why is he so important?
But how do they pick Uganda? Like, did Uganda agree to this or something?
They said that they were willing to take certain people from America as long as they don't have a criminal charge. They aren't an unaccompanied minor. That they agree with America, they'll take certain people in.
And the Supreme Court said that this was not illegal to send them to third party.
He getting paid. They're gonna ship him off anyway. He gonna spend y'all money, y'all emotional money. He gonna have a great time with it.
And he's got to come back in 2026 for his trial, so it's fucking ridiculous to me. I say keep him in ICE custody. It's going to cost the same amount of money.
Ken, what you think?
Oh man, when Huey P. Newton went to jail I think it was shooting the police. It was on like death row, the Free Huey campaign. Huey's celebrity went crazy. Huey wasn't the best orator, right? But his celebrity gave him a different look. So all this person needs is Wi-Fi connection. He can get it cracking because shit like this is the shit that takes you to a celebrity, especially if you see the left leaning on it. Me personally, even in Uganda, wherever you go, I lean all the way into this shit. You got the visibility. People think you're being treated unfair. This is a marketing opportunity out of this world. And you turn this bad press into great press. All you need is a camera phone and Wi-Fi. So this, for real, it may look like a setback to him, but this may be the opportunity on an individual level that he personally needed to get it cracking. Because if he go to Uganda, he's going to come with everyone already knowing the story, right? So lean into that shit and use the left to your advantage and ride that wave.
For sure. Well, since we followed this story of Finesse 2 times, it's continuing. So this will be the last story of the night. Finesse 2 times, mom is being called out because Finesse had major dental problems and they blaming it on her, saying she didn't take care of them. This is her response.
Rick ain't go to the dentist because he was locked up. The man been locked up since he was 14 years old. 14 years old. 14, but it's my fault. And I'm wrong. Y'all get the fuck on with that shit. I'm wrong. Because he keep catching charges going to jail. Petty. And talking about get a job. I got a job. Y'all can't see the shirt. I got a job. They bound his ass over at 14. Help me get a job. Help me get another job. Help me get a car. Help me get that. I ain't ashamed to beg. Especially when I know I need it. But y'all gonna see this blow up. Y'all gonna see this blow up, baby. I'm gonna show y'all what Mama P all about.
Doc, is it Mama Finesse Time's job to be taking care of her son?
I mean, she said he was 14. Yeah, that was her job. I know she boy look like he could win the Kentucky Derby, don't he? But I mean, her saying that he been locked up since he was 14, I mean, some of that's gonna be his upbringing. You know what I mean? And where he from. So I think it's disingenuous of her to realize that she don't play no part in this. Some kids are just bad, but some of that is you know, also about your parenting as well. So, you know, it's a tough thing.
Slim, you're a rapper. How you feel about Finesse 2 times mom constantly going viral, talking down on him?
Man, I don't know, man. I mean, I lost my mom, 17 years old. So it's like, I don't respect that. I don't know how to take that. I think she's looking too much into the internet, you know, like reading comments and stuff like that. I think when people focus on that, they kind of take themselves out of reality. But I don't know. I don't think she should look too far into that, especially when it's dealing with family issues. Try to keep your family off the internet if you can, man. I mean, that's the best I could say.
Ken, a lot of people was commenting on what you said about Finesse 2 times mom before with the money situation. So how do you feel seeing, you know, that she didn't pay for his dental work and she's saying this because he was in jail?
Man, look, if my mama was alive and she had social media and I was popping, my mama would bury me. You know what I mean? Slim, sorry about your mama, bro. My mama was shit. You know what I mean? My mama will put a camera in her face and bury me. At the same time, here we go. Mama, keep going. There go your stream of income right here, right? Because what you about to do is now you about to be next to Tia Kemp in Tokyo, right? We just went through a whole period of Black China mama. We got Rick Ross baby mama. We got all these ratchet kind of mamas doing all this shit. I would encourage my mama, since this is what it is, and I know my mama, now I'm about to get you off my books. Keep going. Get your own money. Our relationship might get better too, because now we're not dealing with any kind of need. Use my name to get yourself cracking.
Heaven, what you got to say for the moms?
Get your children's teeth fixed at a young age. If she had brought him to a dentist as a child, they would have done x-rays and they would have known before he was 14. My daughter had her braces at 11. So she wrong in her parenting, period. Especially when, regardless of the situation, you can get dental health care. You can. Yep. And when it comes to your child, you should want to do anything you can for your child.
Enzo, are the moms to blame?
So I mean, I'm gonna blame both of them at the end of the day because, like she said, he was getting locked up when he was 14 years old. What were you doing before that? Like, I mean, because I remember when I was 8 or 9, when my teeth were coming in crooked, I had a retainer. I mean, until I got braces. I didn't get braces until like 11, like Evan said. So I'm gonna side with her with that. And then, I mean, in jail, don't you guys get like, don't people get like medical and like, dental and like certain things in jail too?
I'm sure it's trash. We're just gonna say that.
Yeah, that boy would have needed extensive help in jail. They don't
I
get
know,
that
so I'm
boy
saying like a combination of both. The dude's mouth wouldn't be looking like a horse.
Well, now he got a mouthful of money. Now he got a mouthful of diamonds. So I guess it all worked out. But for sure, this was a great show.
But did he straighten the teeth before he put the diamonds on them, though? If you got diamond teeth money, you got to straighten your teeth money.
You got
we got diamonds on them, Evan. It don't matter.
Nah, he didn't fix them. You can see it. He didn't fix them.
Bruh, get it
It's a waste of money,
together. Priorities. Straighten up. Put a couple diamonds on
Be
them.
taxing for girls too. Anyway.
So this was a great show. Enzo normally comes on just Wednesday, but he came on Monday. So Enzo, what's your final thoughts?
This is a very good episode. We covered a variety of things. Two things I'm really just going to touch on is just like I keep saying, I agree with what's going on with the National Guard in CERN. I agree that these Democratic leaders in these cities, even the Democratic leaders in red states where crime is high, send them in. Even the Republican leaders in the red states or blue states that crime is high, send them in. You're not doing your job correct. We need to clean up our streets. I'm going to continue saying that until look at what happened in DC. Cleaned up the streets for everybody. I want everybody to be safe and be able to walk around their cities and not fear. I go to Trenton, Camden, Newark, Patterson all the time. I don't feel comfortable walking around or driving the van that I drive that has like $30,000 in equipment in it because I see it all the time. I see carjackings all the time. This is needed because obviously the leaders there and the police are not doing it. With Kilmar, it's just crazy to me that we're making an illegal migrant who came here illegally, glorifying that he's an illegal migrant. Everybody's acknowledging that. Nobody has a problem with that. That he got deported wrongly. We need to bring him back, and he has a fan club and everything like this. That we're glorifying this dude, and media just keeps talking about him. Like, are we supposed to be tough on immigration? Are we supposed to be tough on law and order in the United States? Obviously, plays into what I was saying about the National Guard. I'm sorry to say it. Democrats are not tough on law and order.
For sure. Doc, what's your closing thoughts?
I just know we spending a lot of money on immigration and bringing the National Guard to these cities, but I also hope this is plans for, actually fixing the homeless issue, programs for changing these neighborhoods and giving these kids, just a chance as well at being able to do something else. I don't know what to answer. Maybe like giving them, I know they took a lot of things like kids having shop class and learning trades out of schools. I'm hoping that's something we can bring back, some of that stuff to, give them a better chance of having something else to do. So I see we doing all that. I just hope there's also more to the plan, as far as just, giving out more opportunities and programs as well.
For sure. Slim, what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, man, I'm all for everything Trump's doing. Bring the National Guard in there. Every city who think they got it popping like that because it's time. We always talk about how we're going to stop crime. We always make these little suggestions on how we're going to fix things in the hood. Even my son got a little campaign he runs called Boycott Black Murder. Well, he beat you to it. The way he's doing it, it is what it is. You can't get mad that he's doing it the way he's doing it. How else can we do it? at the end of the day, we don't respect law and order now. So with that being said, salute to my president, man. And I really hope, you know, J.D. Vance wins the next one so he can make Trump the VP and then kind of step down and then Trump, never mind.
Kid, what's your final thoughts?
Oh man, I have a problem with the poor being responsible for making the change when the shit comes from top down. So like the things that happen on the bottom are a result of the top, as above, so below, right? So if I would like to see the people at the top, the people with the most, show the poor what righteous behavior look like, right? Preach what you practice, right? I would like them to give us a bird's eye view on how to lift ourselves out of certain class conflicts, certain mindsets and everything, right? But to expect the poor to be the moral standard when I can just look at my politicians and they don't have to do it. I don't like the poor being responsible for stop the killing, stop doing all this. My government does it though. Like what why can't I be in the image of my leaders? Y'all kill, so we kill. Y'all steal, so we steal. Y'all lie, so we lie. Darkness can't cast out darkness, right? That's one. Two, in terms of the immigration shit, I live in Phoenix, Arizona. That is cap. They only do that to do a small quota. Phoenix has all like the top 25 fastest growing cities in the country, and every area has nothing but construction going on. It's 115 degrees out here in the summer. There's not one American person working. That is our economy here. The hospitality industry, that is our economy here. If there was a true immigration problem and they got rid of all these people, it would flatten our economy. That is cap. They don't have no unions. They don't have no workers' rights. They are building this city fast, cheap, right? So that's cap. They don't want to get rid of immigration, especially in the city that I live in. We need it.
Sure. Okay, Heaven, what's your final thoughts?
Great episode tonight. Great show. Great conversation. And shout out to the chat. You guys are always fantastic, making me laugh hysterically. We need more of a connection with the people, quote unquote, policing our streets. But like when the Black Panthers did. You know, it's a little bit different. But they took care of their own. They took care of their community around them. And if we all just took care of the communities around us and took care of the kids and mentored them, regardless if they're ours or not, make sure everyone in our general area was fed, it would make the world a lot kinder for a lot of people. That's my final thought.
For sure. If you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell to know when we go live. Tomorrow we'll be interviewing the guy that's running against Tampa and Tim as the Right Likes to Say, Mike Walsh. We'll also be talking about the National Guard in Chicago again. So come check us out again. We're going to keep bringing you guys great content. Thank you for rocking with us. Man Cave.